Everybody see me?
Yes, I can see you.
See me, okay. Great.
Yes.
I'm just wondering why myself actually. That's why I'm, taking it slowly. I'm trying to find myself on the screen.
Where's my,
Okay, I actually can't see myself, and that's strange, That's that's what I'm trying to fix right now. Okay, I guess I can see myself now. Okay, good evening, everybody. Once again, I want to say thank you for making it down here. I really want to appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for staying tuned in the group, in the Telegram group, to be able to, participate in today's meeting. I really want to appreciate you. I hope everyone can actually hear me. I believe everyone can. So I really want to appreciate everybody. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So without wasting much time, I'll just introduce myself for those who don't know me or those who are just seeing me for the first time. My name is Samie Matth. Well, my name is actually Samuel Mayowa Arokoyo. I'm from Kogi State, the Yoruba part of Kogi, and I'm popularly called Samie Matth. And my name is Samuel. My dad's name is Matthew, and I prefer being called that. It's easier. It's actually easier for people to call me Samie Matth. I find it, easier, so that's what everybody calls me. So everybody calls me, like a lot of people call me Samie Matth. So I started my trading journey in 2017. I just rounded up with my NYC, my youth service, and I was actually, not in a good place after I rounded up with school, and I needed to, look for mentorship and get my life started and stuff. So okay, Nick is here, Nero God is here, so I hail sir. So glad to have you here. So just as I was saying, started my journey 2017. I placed my first trade in September 13, 2017. Yeah, my first trade, and I got mentored greatly by Sir Ejimi Olufukeji Adegbeye. I got greatly mentored by him, and I from there, I picked up my journey, and I began to like explore different market concepts, different trading ideologies, trading systems, and all of that. So I got to where I am today. So um it's been amazing so far. It's been really great so far. I've been able to like find my edge in the market. I've been able to you know, stick to a specific niche, a niche or a specific edge in the market that, works best for me. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. So I am one trader who is really passionate about learning, really passionate about learning. So I keep learning, I keep going in for mentorship, and it's been great. It's been a great experience so far. So that's like a brief story about me, very brief story about me. So um um so for now, I really want to say a big thank you to everyone who took out their time to show up here today. I want to say a big thank you for making it down here. We do not take your time for granted, and we don't want to waste your time either. So I want to say a big thank you. I understand that there are quite a lot of people here. Not everybody here is a novice. I understand that there are great people here. I understand that there are mentors. There are great traders here who are just, who just want to just listen, who just want to hear what Samie Matth has to say. Some of them are just saying it for the first time. A lot of you are just hearing me speak for the first time. So I understand that, there are great minds here. There are a lot of great traders here who do great stuff, So I really want to appreciate you for taking out time to avail yourself this evening. I understand that you must have had like different schedules, you probably would have, adjusted to, make out time for this event. So I really want to say a big thank you to all of you. So with that said, over a certain period of time, I think towards the end of I think I think in the mid of 2022, I started to, think about how that I was just trying to reevaluate my journey, like from where I started from. I was trying to reevaluate, and I just thought about my journey, and I was thinking about how, I had explored like several trading concepts, the period of 2017 down to 2018, I was strictly trading market sentiment. Nick used to be on board then. We used to trade GA, we used to trade GA high, those very volatile markets, So we're doing that for a while, after a while, we did that for like 2017 to 2018. After a while, I got exposed to price action, and not just price action, a specific approach, which is actually market structure. So I got exposed to likes of them, Q banks, and the Forever in Profit family. So I started to, dive into my understanding of market structure and a deeper approach into understanding the market. So, so I actually moved from learning market sentiment. At least I was able to understand it to a certain degree. I understood it properly. I understood it well. I did crazy stuff with it, did amazing results with it. And then after a while, I was able to move in to market structure. I was doing market structure for quite some time. I think 2018 into 2019, I'm still doing a bit of market sentiment with some added strategies, likes of them Bruce Webb. I did his training, learned how to scalp in a very crazy manner, 1 minute time frame. I was doing that for a while, made a few bucks there and there, but then there was this dissatisfaction, not really, there was this longing for something that I was finding. I couldn't really explain what it was at the time, but I kept doing that, for a while, kept trying different approaches. And then I'll reach out to my mentor, Sir Ejimi. I reached out to him. I said, sir, what do you think about this? And I remember him saying, no, Samie, what exactly are you looking for? What are you looking for? And I'm saying, I don't know, but I just come online and I see, guys doing crazy stuff. Like, work with this, work with that, consistency, build credibility, build consistency, build mastery, all of that, just kept me moving and stuff. So 2018, 2019, I was doing a bit of scalping, just purely scalping, was just looking at accounts and all of that. So I did that for a while. And then after a while again, I delved into a bit of price action from likes of them, Xuan Li. If you heard of Xuan Li, I did a bit of his training. If you know BSAPs, I did a bit of training. If you know Nick Shaw, that's one of Nick's guys, So I did that as well. So was greatly mentored, price action, then more FX. Some of these guys, just getting exposed to all of them, price action kind of thing, was making sense. Now and then I was gradually moving, stepping into, understanding this whole market. It was just a crazy process. And then, that was 2018 to 19. And then 2019 into 20, I got exposed to a bit of price action, to still price action. Then I that was like the first time I got to hear about Dapo Willis. He was doing crazy stuff at the time. He was just, launching his market into Nigeria at the time, 2020 in the lockdown. A lot of people haven't heard of him at the time. He hadn't, I think his Instagram page at the time was just like 3,000 followers, so he was just cool and calm at the time, wasn't really doing so much, was just, trying to get into the market. And I did a bit of his, I did his training eventually, did his one-to-one, it was great having to, have his one-to-one session with him, for many people who don't know, I think I was probably one of the first set of people that did his one-to-one, when he started his whole mentoring and stuff. So I did that, so it brought into, it exposed me to a deeper understanding of, the markets. That's where I got, really exposed to the top-down analysis, and that really worked really amazingly. It worked really perfectly, and, from there, was just building and building up. So I already understood market structure, was just more of, gaining mastery, putting this here, putting that here, try to put all the puzzles together to just ensure that, the whole piece is making sense. So I was doing that as well. And then after a while, I think 2020 into 2021, I got exposed to BGFX, Nick. I'm sure Nick is one of his, so did like BGFX. So BGFX has like a touch of institutional concept, was doing all of that. Okay, I even failed to mention, I also went for masters in trading, Institute of Trading and Finance. I did that. It was just a whole lot of, information to take in. I was like, wow, what's all these ones? Was crazy, like totally different, like what you learn in IOTAP, Institute of Trading and Finance, like it's totally strange. It's totally different from all what we see online, the market structure, institutional concept. Like by the time I was done with the program, that was the last time I just shut it down. And that was like, I just waved it goodbye because there was really nothing, in as much as it exposed me to a lot, most of the trading concepts did not really go with my personality type. And so I just had to leave it and focus on, what was already working best for me. And so that's by the way. So BGFX too got into understanding a deeper approach into institutional concept. Crazy guy, young boy. I think it's about maybe 20 now or 21. At the time he was 19. So, but he was doing crazy stuff, amazing stuff, BGFX. You can check him online. So I did that as well. And then when I was done with that, it's just been, one phase or the other. So even up till last year, I still even signed up for what's the name? School of Price Action for one of Cuban's boys. One of Cuban's boy, Chris. His name is Chris, Mr. De Stefano. Was about 5K. The training was about 5K. Did training. Just to get inspired, be in the midst of this guy's community, learn from them, and see how, they approach the market and stuff. So I've just been, someone say, Baba, you spend money. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been it's been a journey. So I've just been, so in the middle of last year, I started thinking, I was just trying to evaluate all the whole process, and that was when the whole perspective thing idea popped up in my head. I was like, perspective, I think it's very, very important that, we get to see and understand perspectives from different traders. It's very important, because I see that a lot of times, traders find it difficult, to accept accept that what they actually do, might not necessarily be the same with what the other person does, and most of the time, there's this feeling of, what I do is best, what I do is better, what I do is superior to that of, the other person, So, but then the whole idea of, perspective is, having that synergy, I've seen fantastic traders in recent times, that would probably make a call on like GBP USD, and probably that would be a sell. That would be a sell trade, make a call for a sell. And then from my own perspective, from a market structure standpoint, I might be seeing a buy, and, that person wins that trade and I take a loss, so it doesn't necessarily mean like we are doing wrong things or approaching the markets wrongly. But then the whole goal of, having this session is to be able to bring traders to the point where, we can see that there is a link with all of these ideas, with all of these concepts. There is a link, and, it doesn't necessarily mean that if this person makes a call and it goes in his direction and it doesn't goes in your direction, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are actually wrong, So there is this synergy, there is this blend, I look forward to times where, um, traders will understand all of these concepts, this major concept that are in the market. So you have, just like it was written before the program started, before like the introduction of the event, we have like market structure, we also have like market sentiment, we also have, the institutional concept, we also have the Wycoff concept, all of these concepts. So our goal is to first, make people be aware that, we can see the market from different approach, or have like an approach, a technical approach to viewing the market that may not necessarily be the very same way the other fellow does or sees the market. So you can see the market from a standpoint, from your own concept, and I also can see the market from another standpoint, and then we can still have a way of blending it with risk management and still achieving the same result. So that's one of the goals for this event, making traders, see that we can actually see the market from different standpoints and still be able to achieve our goals, And then secondly, it's also a platform. This is also a platform to help us get to connect to traders who have built consistency and mastery, in their specific niche or their specific areas of concentration. So I have Nick here. Nick has been a great friend, has been a great, fantastic trader, amazing trader, amazing mentor as well. He has his team of guys. He has, a couple of them, that are also doing, beautifully well. They're doing amazing stuff. I'm also in his training group. I see a lot of stuff. I learned from him a lot, and I've known him to be a supply and demand trader. I think one of the approaches I used to get into the market, like one of my entry strategies or so, it was Nick that taught me, I think a year ago. So he taught me that, like a year ago. So he's a fantastic trader, great trader, and I believe he's hearing me now. And with a sound, with a, what they call it now, with a clap emoji. I want to see, like, please give him a clap emoji. Awesome. I can see that. I can see that in the chat area. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. So we also have Bala Francis. He's also an exceptional trader, one of my good traders, one of my great guys. She's doing fantastic. He's doing amazing. I think for those of us who are been actively following, you'll see that he did like, he has been doing like crazy stuff from the beginning of this year, pulled out like crazy figures from the markets like January, and that's like woken up a lot of traders from slumber. He just came and like used a bulldozer to wake a lot of us up, like, hey guys, all of you, stop sleeping, let's do this thing. Fantastic trader, amazing trader. He's also a trader at Value Trading Hub. So amazing guy. So he's also here. And also we also have what's his name now? My mentor, please, I want to see your hands. I want to see your clap for my mentor. Amazing man, amazing person. He has been a great mentor through the years, mentored me and still mentors me. He's amazing, amazing. I can't even begin to start talking about him. So please put your hands together for him. So without wasting much time, we'll just go straight to the point and share a bit. I put in some stuff here that we'll be talking about and emphasize, we'll talk about here. So I'll just go delve into it. So what we're actually going to be doing here. Okay, sorry, before we go in proper, mentor Ejimi is it's a bit it's not feeling too well. But he's here. I think he's here, but he's not feeling too well. So he may not really be actively, talking all of the talking. But then if you have questions, that you may need to send down to him, fine. You just post your question in the chat area and I'll find a way of passing it across to him. So for now, we'll just be sharing. So I'll just be asking, I don't know if Francis is here too. I'm not sure, but I don't know if he's here. I'm not sure if he's here. But then Nick is here, so we'll just go ahead to like talk. So it's going to be more like a panel session, where we just ask ourselves questions to just enlightening us, bring more enlightening, bring more light, to us and help us, to get better after now. So Nick, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, boss, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Great to have you here, sir.
Yeah, boss, can you hear me? I can.
Yes, I can hear you. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. So I'll just go ahead to ask some of the questions that I have written down here. So before we do a bit of chatting stuff, so I don't know, can you just share your journey, your trading journey, and what led you to pursue the whole trading career? I know you also you're a PhD candidate at the moment. You like book plenty. You really like book. You like education. So, but then
Yeah,
amazing
I
how
think,
you can, put trading alongside, PhD. Like PhD is not it's not a small thing, like you're still able to combine that. So how did you start your journey? How did you pick up from?
yeah, boss. Yeah, once again, thank you for bringing me here. Actually,
You're
Samie
welcome.
Matth is my mentor. I always say Samie Matth was actually the door to my trading experience. I think far back at 2018, I rounded up
Wow.
my NYC. I was thinking on, okay, what's the next step? Okay, everyone was getting a skill here and there. So I was trying on, getting a skill, possibly. I think I even dabbled into fashion design then, but I just knew I was not cut out for those stuff. I
Serious.
needed something much more. So, suddenly I slept. I think at night I had a dream as regards Forex. Okay, and I know previous week I've seen Pastor Ejimi post a lot on Forex and everything. And so within that same time frame, after that dream, I said, okay, I think God is leading me to this path. You understand? Because I just had a strong conviction. It wasn't just not something just like a normal dream you get. So I just felt God was leading me in that path. So within that same time frame, I stumbled on Pastor Ejimi's post about something as
Mm.
regards you. Yes. So now then I inboxed you and you're like, okay, this is that, this is it, this is it. I remember I took 3 of your trainings at one. I think
Yeah,
scalping,
yeah.
one as regards GA. Boss, you remember? Yeah. I think
Yes.
I just I
That's
just I just took so the whole GA stuff was complex. The one I knew I sat comfortably with was the scalping. My God. Then just some little change around trying to trade into the market. I saw I was flipping money easily. Everybody has this experience in Forex when you just enter. You understand? So I was just flipping the whole thing using moving averages, the strategy we thought of then, making money. Then after a while, the whole thing just went down.
mm.
I remember I was disturbing you, said that knowledge is not
Stop
sufficient. I
it.
should go for higher knowledge. I remember then. So I think that was 2019. I think 2019. So I had a long break from trading. I think 2019 thereabout because on a single Friday I lost 500 USD. Yeah. Uh, then it
Wow.
was so much more to me, you understand, because this money was something I worked out for, and I think a part of it was given to me. It was a loan, like from someone, you understand. So on a single Friday, everything, then now Donald Trump, I think he just went on Twitter
Yeah.
and
And that's what it
this
does.
man tweeted something. I was trading gold.
Wow.
I was trading gold. On a single Friday, I lost 500 USD. I can't forget that experience. So after then, I just decided to, take a bit from trading. It was painful. And so during that process, I stumbled on Nixon, understand. So Nixon, I enrolled for Nixon's course. Okay, Nixon was all about structure, you understand. So he taught me how the
Wow.
structure, taught me the trend line and everything. You get. So I was happy. I was like, wow, this thing. Then just break and retest, put my Fibonacci and trend line. Just 3 things. Break and
Mhm.
retest, trend line and your Fibonacci. That's what it was. And I was using it. Then all of a sudden, like your market just changed, started working again.
Yeah.
I just felt
True.
you get, so I just felt it wasn't working again, I had to go for higher knowledge. And so it was within that time frame I met, within that season, I met Ariel FX. I don't know if you know him,
What's
Ariel
that?
FX. So I wrote for his course, Ariel FX. So
Mhm.
he was not actually introduced me into institution. So I enrolled for his mentorship, taught me about that time IC candles, that national candle, many things in balance, many stuff. So he introduced me into the whole thing. And with the knowledge I had to, I had to just, try to start trading on it, combining it with structure and everything. I think afterwards, then I enrolled for BG. I think, well, BG was strictly on GG. But before then, I've actually found a bit of an edge, like a bit of stability trading wise. I found a bit of stability, Then my knowledge from Nixon, right, as regards structure, I combined it with what I learned from institution in real effects. And so that gave me a lot of edge, trading. So it was from a real effect, I started supply and demand trading, understand, from a real effect. So understanding, I think what happened was, I would say no single strategy actually just made me profitable. I thank God for the journey. In fact, Mentor, actually, as a month ago, I enrolled for a course again. I enrolled for a course. Not like I needed something new, but I just felt, okay, I think it's worth it to note this guy's perspective and see you find how to exactly. One of Shangi's friends, they call him Aya Capital, understand? And it costs a lot, quite a lot, understand? So I feel I learned something from you as regards, going for mentorship. You cannot outgrow learning, you understand? But at the same time, we should be careful. We should be careful not pushing so many things. Then it's crowd. It just crowds your mentality, and you're not able to find. I think I posted something on Instagram, a quote by someone. It said not many things are actually useful. So many things are irrelevant. But it takes a master to know the. It actually takes you as a master, but you cannot say you're a master if you've not gone through the process. So what happened was that going through those process helped me build stability over time, and I knew how to just combine a few of those stuff I've learned. You understand? So generally, it was a good process. You understand? Someone is asking how is BG spelled on IG. How is BG spelled on IG? I think it's just BGFX.
Okay, BGFX. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just BGFX. Yeah, and then when I wrote, it was basically about GJ. Yeah, GJ. It was just trading GJ, and it got to a time GJ. I think it was seasonal tendency. The whole team wasn't understanding it again. Was it GJ or you? Can't remember. But I know it was
GJ.
a particular.
Bob DJ.
Hello?
GJ.
GJ. So I think what BGFX molded in me was the lower time frame, just to understand the lower time frame interactions, how to build your trade from the lower time frame, enter on the 1 minute, the 3 minute. Also, it had a downside, but within the time frame we did that, I did that specifically. I know we actually made some money off it, you understand? So it was with BG. I knew how to, work with the 30 seconds. I can take trade on the 30 seconds, 1 minute, get 1 to 3, 1 to 5, which to reward and out of the market. But, one thing with Forex is the season change and things just become, somehow complex over time. So after a while, that was not really working again. It was more like I was taking 10 trades in a day because I was trading on the 1 minute at 3 minutes.
True.
It was disastrous. You just find yourself trading every time because you could just literally see setup on the 3 minute, 1 minute, 30 seconds. So that was really a challenge for me at that time. And I think that was one of the encumbrances I faced when I finally switched to swing trading. The challenge was because I've been a master of the lower time frame, like literally, you understand? Sometimes when I enter on the lower time frame, I find it difficult to, to stay off the chart. I find it difficult to hold drawdown. I find it difficult to just keep my eyes off, the MT4 for a moment. Okay, I'm monitoring the trade. After I enter the trade, I'm monitoring, okay, this is 5 pips against me. My stop loss is 15. Are you sure my stop loss is 20? Are you sure it's not going against my stop loss? So literally, I couldn't stay on the chart. I was fidgeting at every trade I entered. You understand? Knowing well, my higher time frame framework showed that I'm still in line. But because I was bent on looking at the 1 minute and the 3 minutes, it was, this is my practice. Yeah. So it was like an encumbrance for me. So what I did to overcome that was to start putting in some routine for myself, like some trading rules. So what I did was, if I enter a trade, I won't check, any time frame lower than the 15 minutes. I don't care what happens, as long as I know, okay, this is my bias. You understand? I won't bother with that. And for swing trading, I really did not have someone who pulled me into it. I just had a lot of people, I think, on YouTube. I just stumbled on their videos and I got 1 or 2 ideas from. But I felt for me that was the better way of trading, and it worked for me. When I mean swing trading, not just swing trading alone, just maybe day trading 1 or 2 days. You understand? Not the usual 1 minute, 3 minute stuff I do. Just entering and getting out in 30-minute marks on hour. You get? So it was a challenge, to migrate, to shift to maybe intraday or day trading. Was a challenge. So the rules, I really did not want to check again what was happening on the lower time frame. So having entered the trade, I say, okay, until the next 15-minute closure of this candle, I'm not going to check the chart until the next 15 minutes closure. So in fact, let me share this experience. Something happened, I think it's almost a year now. So I entered a trade. Usually I have a time I enter a trade. I have time. I don't trade every time. Like in a session, I trade mostly the New York switchover. Okay. And so then I think it was 1 p.m. I entered the trade at 12 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay. So the trade was stalling. It hadn't moved in my direction. So I think 1 p.m. too, it hadn't moved. So, and I had a meeting, a church meeting, and I was supposed to, teach for a long time, like 3 hours. I said to myself, it was by 3 o'clock. I said to myself, okay, if I get to church, because I'm teaching, I'll not be able to check my phone. So the best thing I need to do is to close this trade, okay, maybe before I mount a P period. Okay, but what happened was that when I got to church, remember I was on a trade, that's CHF, yeah, CHF, I remember. So when I got to church, there were so many emergencies for me to attend to that I forgot I was in a trade. So I think I finished teaching and I finished praying the whole administration by 7. When I opened my empty, so by 7 when I finished, I don't even remember I had a running trade because I forgot literally. You understand? By 7 when I finished, I was counting a few persons. Then while I was doing that, I just remembered, oh boy, you have a running trade. My heart almost lifted out of my chest. I brought out my phone, went to my MT4. My God. And the account was 300, just something I do sometimes. I have a Friday reversal kind of strategy. Sometimes on Friday, I take trade and I use it to flip accounts sometimes. So that was what I was targeting that day. Okay. So I think it was around $300. And at 7 p.m. or afterwards, when I checked it, 8 p.m. when I checked it, guess what? It was 1,500 from 300 just in a single day. Now, the reason, you see, if you know OCHF very well, OCHF is a pair that doesn't move, very sluggish, very, very somehow kind of there. You understand? But why am I saying this? If I did not adopt that strategy of, okay, telling myself, let me allow my trade player, pick out rules after 15 minutes. Okay, I didn't close that trade because I told myself, okay, I will close it at a particular time before I mount in the stand. I'll close it at a particular time. I wasn't checking every 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I wasn't trying to stick to my MT4. Sometimes just take the trade as long as my SL and is set, I'm fine with it. You understand? So that has been the whole journey, starting from scalping down to intraday trading and swing trading. So
Wow.
that's it.
Wow. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Awesome. Awesome. I'm really glad to hear this because I remember when we started out, I know how, after doing the first training, you came back again, like second training, you came back again, third training.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I'm really amazed like how far you've come. It's really amazing how that, at some point, you were learning from me. At some point, I had to like, hey Nick, how far? Show me this thing. Show me this
Yeah.
thing. Many traders don't even know that.
Exactly.
I'm one of those guys that used to DM Nick. I used to DM Nick and say, Nick,
What's
how
a very
far?
humble man? Sometimes I say, what do I know?
I used to DM Nick and say, please show me that entry again. Show me that entry. Nick is like a fantastic trader. And I'm glad that, over the years, you've been able to come to a point where, you've been able to find your specific approach to the market.
Yes, sir.
So talking about supply and demand now, at what point did you get to the point where you say, nope, supply and demand is it? Because I know you as a supply and demand trader. I know that, at some point, structure, at some point, this, at some point, that, but, there was a time where, when I saw your result, I was like, no, this guy he has caught something, and when I saw that, so I always see you as a supply and demand trader, and I'm glad that you do amazing stuff. I see your results all the time. I check your Telegram group and I see fantastic stuff. And I'm like, I wish I can just put all these things in my head, but sometimes when I see your markups, I'm like, this market, like, God have mercy. Like, these things, like, it's just crazy how people see the same charts from different angles, different approach,
Yeah.
So at what point exactly would you say, you told yourself that this is what you're going to be stuck with, supply and demand?
Yes, sir. Like I shared, I think when I took a real effects course, okay, um, I had a bit of an edge. I just felt at peace with it. Basically understanding like I feel okay since this is the way the institution trade, I think it's something I should stick with. So there's always a downtime. Okay, there was a downtime for me too on that strategy, but I've learned that it's actually not about hawking strategies. Is about how good you sat down with one thing over a lengthy period of time. Understand? So I think for me, after I took a LFX course, right, I just felt at peace with this stuff. Okay, so I wasn't out for trying to check out something new again or trying to to do something different. Anything I did afterwards, okay, because I know the way I traded supply and demand, obviously maybe a year ago has improved drastically, but it's still the same basic concept. There is no rocket science that you got it. It's just one or two, refinements here and there to try to make the whole thing look, more professional. You understand? So it was really after a real effects, course, I had to just settle in with supply and demand. I told myself, boy, this, jumping from strategy to another strategy won't work this time. Let's just stay with this stuff. And I'm glad I did because I found an edge with it. Most times, most people don't know that. You see, trading, you will not learn. There were things I learned from the chart. Nobody taught me. There were things I learned from the chart. Nobody taught me.
True.
In fact,
True.
I was shocked one day to see somebody doing it. Like, did this guy copy me somewhere? Yes, I was shocked. I told somebody this. There's something I do. I think it's now everybody knows that AMD now. You understand?
Yeah.
When I learned it, I never learned that from anyone. It was just staying with the chart over time. Staying with the chart over time. Every time, of course, now because that's why I had to shift to swing trading. Of course, now because I really don't have the time. So that's why I had to shift to swing trading. But when a lot of time was on my hands, I of course I was stuck on the chart. I may not be trading, some people feel, the only time you come to the chart is when you want to trade. In fact, if you always trade when you come to the chart, then you'll be less profitable. When you come to the chart, it's the first thing shouldn't be trading, or majority of the time on the chart shouldn't be trading. You should actually be, just studying the chart, romancing it. That's what I want for. Just romance the chart. Try to have a pulse of what it feels like. Exactly. Just try to build connection with the stuff. You understand? So that's the whole thing basically, boss.
Awesome. That's really, really interesting. Interesting to know that, I think this is something that, I think this is a place every trader has to get to. It got to a time, in my journey where I just knew that I wasn't looking out for anything else. Like when I started out, I was looking out for this, looking out for this, looking out. So, and I think at that point, that's exactly where you find your edge. You're no longer itchy to, you're no longer, your hands are not itching you to go into every Telegram group to look at what this guy is saying, what this mentor is saying.
Exactly.
You may do that like once in a while to just see that maybe, those times where the market is just, the head is not correct, like nothing is making.
It happens always. It happens.
Exactly.
We are not jumping. This guy that took this trade and make this money, how did he do it? Then you're like, man, I need to learn this strategy. And you jump there 3 months later, the market changes from that strategy again.
Exactly.
Like, man, this Forex thing is not for me.
Exactly. So those times for me are like the times where I just peep into maybe your group, or other traders group that I'm in. Sometimes like those groups are literally on mute, like they are mute 24 hours. But those times that my head, that I'm just seeing the charts, acting funny. Those are the times where I just try to, I say, what's Nick saying now? I just quickly go to Solid FX and check and look. I'm like, okay, Nick is saying GJ is most likely going to buy. Okay, I think now I'll now try to see the sense, now try to make sense out of my own chart, because okay, from your own perspective now, you saw
how can you
how the market was going to move from that time, and all of that. So amazing stuff. I'm really glad that one gets to that point. And I think every trader has to get to that point where you're no longer looking out for something. It's more like you just want to pay this guy to just be inspired, hear what he has to say, just pick his brain, not necessarily trying to learn something. If at all I pay for any trader, pay for any training at this point, it will be just to get motivated. I'm in a group. I did the School of Price Action training. In that group, guys who trade there, like on a very steady basis, like every week, you see withdrawals of like 70K, 50K, 45K, 80K. And I want to be in that kind of group so that I'll start seeing myself, as you behold, what you behold, what you keep seeing, you start transforming, your mind starts, receiving that reality. So it's very inspiring to know that, you got to that point, because I truly can relate to that, I truly can relate. So someone was saying here, pardon me, what supply and demand costs did Nick say he settled with? Okay. I think
a real effects. It wasn't purely supply and demand, just institutions. So I refined everything to my, like I said, just sitting with the chart. You just do a lot of refinement. So it's generally about institution. These whole things are interrelated, if you understand. Okay. So a real effect.
Okay, amazing. Maybe after now, if you want to check him out, you can check out Nick. You can reach out to Nick after now.
Yeah. Just reach out to me. I'll give you some.
He'll guide you. So you already have like a refined version of already have a different version of Nick here. So, if you want to do anything related to that, just reach out to him.
Yeah.
So I said here now, so when it comes to like supply and demand, basically, let's stay here. I don't know if you're still here. So well, before Nick comes back in, talking about trading, just like he said, he got to a point where just a second, guys. Okay. Talking about what Nick was saying, talking about his journey and how that, he he started out and, got to the point where, he knew that he wasn't like looking out for anything, at that point, I knew that this guy, has gotten what he wanted or he needs, So I think that's very important for every trader to know, you will know, you might not really know what you're looking out for, but you will know eventually when you have it. You eventually know when you have that thing you're looking out for, So, but that desire that keeps coming in, and coming in all the time for you to keep learning, at that point, you'll be able to get to the point where you're no longer searching for anything new in quotes. You just want to keep gaining mastery and, gaining consistency in what you already have, So thank you, Nick, for sharing that. So I'll still come back to you. One of our speakers is here now. Francis. Francis is here. I don't know if you can hear me. You just need to unmute your
Hello,
mic.
good evening, sir. I can hear you.
We can't see your face. Can we see him? Can we see him? I don't know. Can you hear me, sir?
Hi, good evening, sir.
Okay, this is Bala Francis here. Where is he? He showed here now, and I don't know if we can all see him. I will see him now. Can you put us side by side, admin? Yeah, we're here now. So it's good to have you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for making it down here. I know out of your very busy schedule, you were still like able to be a part of this program. So so basically we're talking about perspectives and we're talking about our journey, how we started out, what our experience was like, and how we got to like, point of finding an edge. So I don't know, can you just share a bit about yourself, how you started your journey, and and the points where you knew that you found an edge. If you can share the process of how you signed up for trainings, probably signed up for trainings till you got to the point where you can fully say you have an edge. So just tell us a bit about that and let us know. Over to you, sir. Okay, we can't hear you. Just unmute your mic. Yeah, we can now.
All right, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good to have you here. Glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here
Okay.
to share alongside all the great leaders you are bringing on this platform. All right, so just like you said, my name is Bala Francis.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. I know most of us have seen Bala Francis in recent time. he's one of the most profitable prop firm traders that I know at the moment. You know, he recently made a withdrawal, I think of over 18K or so, something like that. So, and he's still doing amazingly, fantastically well. You know, he's doing great stuff. You know, he's waking up boys from sleep. You know, waking a lot of boys, even waking, you know, a lot of men from slumber. So it's so nice to have you here. You know, so speak to us, sir. Let us hear you. Okay, your mic has gone off again.
Sorry, I was trying to fix my
Go
phone.
ahead.
I noticed I was having.
All right.
So my name is Bala Francis, and I've been a trader for, I think this is my 5th year trading FX, from when I started learning how to trade to this very moment. This is my 5th year in the
Wow.
financial market. Right.
Nice.
First time I heard about trading was 2018. And since that time, I decided to pursue financial markets trading. And it's been an awesome experience for me. All right. So that's basically what I would say.
Okay. Thank you so much. We would like to know what your journey was like. Like, did you have to, you know, Nick just finished, he spoke for a while now. Nero guy, he spoke for a while and he was telling us how that, you know, he did a training, did this training, did that training, did this training, you know, before he came to that point where he could say he now has an edge. I can see you laughing. So I'd like to know, like, what has been your journey? Like, what has been your journey? You know, it's amazing to see that, you know, certain people, you know, learn from certain people and then move on from there, you know. It's really amazing, you know, that, like they always say, mentorship is a ladder, you know, that can help you see farther, you know. So what exactly are those, you know, what are those journeys? What are those phases you went through? You know, I shared my own story of how I did I was exposed to like of Cubans, you know, exposed to like of, you know, Bruce Webb, likes of Dimitri Wallace, you know, likes of BGFX, and some of these guys, you know, for a while, I was exposed to all of them before, you know, Dr. Willis, you know, as well. And before I got to the point where I knew that I wasn't looking for anything again, you know, so if I needed anything, it was just keep refining what I already have. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about those, you know, chunks of trainings you had to go through, you know, before you got to the point where you became Bala Francis.
All right, sir. I think the first time I heard about trading, so I was privileged enough to be introduced to trading by someone who was teaching trading that time. And fortunate enough, it was my classmate in the university. So the first thing I did was actually to enroll in an online Forex trading community, the then Uhuru Forex Academy. I don't know if many people really know about that now. Uhuru Forex Academy. They used to operate online, and then the founder used to be one Mr. John from Ocean State. So I had to enroll for a 3-month training where I now got to learn the basics of trading, all the basic education a trader needs, right? And then I also had to learn the normal technical analysis everybody knows about, right? The conventional technical analysis, chart patterns, and their likes. So after that, and I knew that wasn't really sufficient to bring out money from the market, especially because I couldn't take out anything just after 3 months. That was impossible. So I was privileged to be following Pastor Ejimi as at that time, the profitable investor. So, and then I started to see some of the testimonials online of the then sunshine scalping strategy. So that was the first training I took after that first basic training I had, the first thing I did was to pay for sunshine scalping, and sunshine scalping strategy was the first strategy I used to cash out from the market. So like 3 weeks, I was making about 30% of the account I was trading that time. It was $100 account, very basic. So I funded $100, and almost every morning I traded $20, and I withdrew that money all the times because our mentor used to say, withdraw profit, and I obeyed. So every time I made $20 to $30 that morning, I would make sure I withdraw that profit before I come back from classes. So, and I did that for 3 good weeks. I withdrew over $300 using that strategy. And then all of a sudden I blew up my accounts. Then I knew that, all right, so now it's time to sit down and find out why that happened. Although it was a risk management problem, because now I understand why. I did 0.5 lots, 2 positions on the $100.
On what? On
a $100 account. And it was on USD, sir. USD, sir. You can imagine.
Sounds funny.
That was how the account went in. Did the blink of an eye, I just saw that everything had just gone. Because in my head, I was thinking, if you can do $20 every day, guy, increase lot size. That $20 will just make you rich overnight. That's why I went back to zero. So from that experience, I now had access to other trainings, right? I took courses like BTMM. I did courses like offshore.
Be the market makers.
Be the market makers. Then Steve Nero course. So I started using those. I used that strategy. I discovered I wasn't comfortable. I went ahead to learn what is it called now? Wycoff. From Wycoff, I think was there after. Then I now took your training, ATC. Then I now took, after ATC, I now took phantom trading. I now took Bruce Web. Bruce Web.
You didn't announce.
Because what I used to do then is that any training I see my mentor takes, I'll be interested to find out what's really in this.
Yeah.
So because you used to talk about Bruce Web, was why I paid for Bruce Web training that time. So
awesome.
Took Bruce Web, took Phantom, I took what is it called? I took Forex Mastery, for Willis. Took Forex Mastery course, and quite a lot of courses anyway. Some of them I can't even remember. It's when I see it, I will not remember that, oh, I took this course, I did this course, I did harmonics, and then I now found out about ICT 2020. Was when I found out about ICT. All right, so when I found out about ICT, fortunate enough, coronavirus outbreak just came up, the pandemic, and that was the season I just went back into my closet and I studied for a year completely. For a year, I was on ICT every day of my life, every night, every morning, every afternoon. Every night, I invest about 4 to 5 hours on my screen, taking courses and writing down lessons in my journals. These were the things I did for straight 6 months. I tried to summarize 12 months of mentorship into 6 months of studies because, in my opinion, I didn't have time that time. Because I was thinking, guys are making money. You can't spend 1 year study. You have to do it in 6 months. I had to put extra effort to study everything in 6 months. After that 6 months, I now took ICT Charter School. After ICT Charter School, the following year, we now paid for ICT training just so that we can have access to the main ICT commentary. You get, because that's where the real mentorship is. Most people don't know, fortunate enough. Most people are paying attention to the mentorship. Although if you don't have understanding of the mentorship, the commentaries are not going to make sense to you. So most people only pay attention to the mentorship, not knowing that a lot of things are, and they don't know the application of the things that were taught in the mentorship. So all through 2021, I was on ICT commentary. Every week, ICT sends us 3 videos, right, on how he looks at the market and how he analyzes the market every day, right, 3 times a week. So that was what we did again patiently all through 2021. All right, it was in that process my own deliverance came, because in my opinion, when you start to become profitable in trading, your deliverance has come.
True.
So it was one of those days I was watching one of the lessons, and all of a sudden I had a conviction that yes, I understand this thing. Now I understand this thing. I just knew it.
Just knew.
And so from that moment, I started to see my results literally change. I can predict the market before I watch his analysis. I'll do my analysis. And when I look at his analysis, I now find out that it's exactly how he's seeing it that I am doing it. So it took me quite an intensive study for, I think, 3 years. 3 years of intensive study. There are a lot of courses I cannot remember, sincerely speaking. I can't even remember the rest of the courses. Courses like Naveen Prichani, some of us who did basic
I did
price
Naveen.
action school.
Funny enough.
You know how bulky Naveen Prichani's course is. We chewed all those archives too. We went through it and all of that, yeah. So, but I started to see a high level of consistency and understanding of the markets after all of these investments, even though I don't regret that I had to go through all of those routes, because after going through all of those routes, a time came, I did supply and demand too. A time came when it now looked like there's nothing I'm learning new. Almost anything you bring is not really looking new. There's nothing to learn new, except for the fact that anything you want to learn, we've really seen it. There's nothing new. All right, except that I just want to sit down and then practice again and again and again and again and again. That was my journey. Really.
Awesome. Please, can we put our hands together for him in the chat area? Like, inspiring journeys. Now, just a question, like for okay, Nick is back here. You know, Nick also had that experience. He spoke about experience. I also had that experience myself, where I got to the point where I knew that I wasn't really looking out for anything. I just needed to keep improving on myself, you know, after like several taking this training, taking that training, you know, some of the time I'll just send my results to Mentor Ejimi, and it's like, tell me, what are you still looking for? You know, what are you still looking for? And you know, there was just that dissatisfaction. There was just that hunger, like I needed something more and stuff. But I got to the point where, you know, I knew I wasn't really looking out for anything. You know, at that point, you know, there's so much conviction, you know, there's so much conviction that, you know, you've caught something, you know something, you know. So I want to throw out a question, like both of you like will answer. You know, I have my own opinion about that. Like, what do you think, like, all this journey was necessary? You know, because now we're talking about perspectives, right? Do you think these phases, these experiences, going through here, going through there, going through here and here and here and here, you know, doing this training, doing that training, do you think it in a way contributed to where you are at the moment? Do you think traders need to have these experiences before finding an edge? What do you think, sir? Sir Nick? Okay, your mic is turned off.
Okay. Yeah, for me, like I said, the whole journey was actually not totally a waste of time, because what it helped me build was different approaches and perspectives to the market. I can sit on my chart and generate different confluences from any perspective I want. You understand? So for me, generally, it wasn't a waste. And in those times, I actually learned a lot as regards my personality. I knew that though I knew a lot upstairs, but those things were not generating profit for me. So there was something wrong with me, particularly. You understand? If I had even started with supply and demand at that then, I would still not be profitable, because a lot of things about me I didn't deal with until many years. You understand? The whole process really did not wasn't a waste for me. It just helped me discover myself, and I said, okay, I think the problem is myself. So how can I really put myself under discipline to ensure I'm put on the right path, to profitability? So not at all. It not, yeah, like I said, even till 3 months ago, I also enrolled for another training, and like the goal is not to learn something new, but just to improve on what you know and to hear other
To buy
people's
into.
you understand?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Awesome. Nice. What do you think, Sir Francis? Your mic is turned off. Okay.
Okay, so like I'm saying, I said, I don't think it's necessary for you to have to go through all this rigorous process if you are wise, right? This is where I have problem with Nigerians. Nigerians like to suffer first before they pay for trainings. For example, somebody comes to your DM to say that, so I've blown all my money. I've been blowing all my money. The last money left is maybe $10 or $20 or $50. That's when that person will now resolve to the fact that, to the awareness that he needs to learn. All right. So I don't think you have to go through all this process. If in the first instance, I had somebody who told me, see, if you follow this guy, this is the result you are going to get. All right. I wouldn't have a problem just following that one person to learn what works, as simple as that. Because the purpose of mentorship is to give you wisdom without pain. Wisdom without pain. That's the purpose of mentorship. Able to leverage on somebody's experience so that you can learn what is working, not just going through, because a lot of people that we started with, not everybody has the resilience to have to go through many things and still come back and wait until he finds what works. See that? So in my opinion, you really don't have to go through all this stress. All you need is one thing that works, and that's it. Just one thing that works. Now, look at this. After learning a whole lot of all of those things, the only advantage I have is that I know those things. So if I see anything, I know where this one is coming from, but not that I'm using all of those information to make money. No. But if you start with learning what works, then you cannot just go on an adventure to learn so many things, so that because sometimes if I see some things on the chat, I know that this is purely retail and this is how retail is seeing it. It gives me an advantage because I know so many things. You get what? But I think you should start with what works. If you start making money, you can just explore other concepts, just be learning other things so that you can also have other advantage.
Amazing. And you see, just like I said earlier, I said one of the reasons for putting in these events together is because it's also an avenue and also a platform to help you get connected to mentors. Mentors. You see, Nick is one supply and demand trader that I know. He has come to that point where this is what he trades. He has been able to refine it. He has been able to, make it an edge, and he has come to the place where this is what works for him. He has been able to, cut through the process of, making several mistakes here and there. He has been able to fine-tune and refine what he now uses. So I don't think it would be wise to now start going online, trying to search for supply and demand, trying to put all those random informations together when someone has already sacrificed, paid, made all the sacrifices. You can hear Bala Francis said what he sees, what he has today, the result that we see today is like a summation, like an accumulation of 3 years, rigorous. He did not just say hard work. He said rigorous, intense hard work put together. So I don't think it's wise to now start going on YouTube to start checking randomly for ICT when it comes to ICT mentorship. I believe that there is someone here that you can easily just connect to, follow him, follow his contact, and you will be able to see the things that you feel that you need to learn from, and I believe this is why, I have this is why I'm doing this perspective. Is something that I'm going to keep doing for as long as I can. You know, in the next 3-4 months again, we'll have like maybe perspective 1.1, maybe 2.0 or 1.1 or something, you know, to have like other set of traders who have mastered their edge, you know, and we can, you know, track and see consistent results from what they do. So this is one of the reasons why we have perspectives. You know, I look forward to a time where it's not just going to be an online event, it's going to be like a physical event. And literally every mentor will come up stage, you know, would have their system, will have their strategy projected on a screen and break down just, you know, top-down analysis on how they approach the market. So everybody can learn from that. This is not just going to be limited to online alone. I look forward to having it done like every 4 months to where, you know, we can now have it as a physical event where traders will come literally, you know, open up their laptops, project their strategy on the screen and show us how they look into the market. We have Bala Francis here, we have Nick here, amazing traders. So this is one of the reasons why we have, you know, these events going on. So I wrote something here again. So what exactly is an edge? You know, what exactly is an edge? And what exactly is an edge? You know, Nick said he got to the point where he knew supply and demand was his thing. You know, you also came to a point where you had that conviction. You know, I like the fact that you say you had that conviction. I watched Q-Banks, I watched Q-Banks to a point where when I saw this guy, it wasn't just about his results. When I'd watched his videos over and over and over and over again, and then saw the results replicated in my life to a certain degree, I just had that conviction that this guy is the person I'm going to follow, you know. So when I started hearing about other concepts, I just wanted to just explore, you know, buy into some of those, you know, those mentorship and just hear what they have to say about it. So what exactly do you think is an edge? You know, what exactly is that edge? What exactly is that edge? You know, edge, we hear edge, 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 edge. You know, what exactly is the edge? Is it, I wrote something here, trying to look for it now. Just a second. Yeah, I wrote something here. I say, is it a combination of strategy, routine, psychology, and personality? You know, for me, I can break it down to those categories: strategy, routine, psychology, and personality. You know, so I don't know, what are your thoughts? You know, Sir Francis, you can go ahead. Let us hear.
All right, sir. So the first way I will answer this is that yes, an edge is a combination of the things you mentioned. All right. Okay, so just like literal definition of the word edge is actually advantage. So we are asking questions of what gives you that advantage in the marketplace that makes you make money or take out money from the market almost every day. All right, it can be daily, it depends, but what gives you the advantage to take out something from the market? Whichever that thing is, that's your edge. All right. And the only way edge comes is by learning, right? When you learn enough, you are going to have a knowing. When you have a knowing, knowing produces the edge, knowing produces the advantage. Okay. So it's a combination of the 4 things that you mentioned. It's a combination of strategy, it's a combination of a routine. I will explain each of these things. It's a combination of psychology, and it's a combination of personality. All right. So for me, the first way you should start is to start with solving personality. This is where once you solve personality problems, it's going to be very easy to resolve to a strategy. Okay. You can't be a very impatient trader and you want to be trading swing trading. These things don't work. All right. You are not matching your personality type with the strategy you are trading. And I don't think it's going to give you the edge you are looking for. So there is no wrong in knowing that my personality cannot wait for a trade to stay 2 days, 3 days. Personally, I've never waited for a trade, even up to 2 days or 3 in my life. I've never ever.
Are you serious?
I've never held a trade.
Wow.
Even when I know where the direction of the trade is, I've never held a trade
Wow.
up to 2 days or 3 days. So imagine that
your opposite.
yes, imagine that I'm trying to do swing trading when I already know that I don't have the patience to hold the trade and go and sleep and wake up again and no. So I've solved personality problem. When I knew day trading was going to be best for me, I just resolved to learn day trading or intraday trading.
Makes a lot of sense.
Now, another thing I should explain here is that day trading is not everyday trading. This is where most traders get it wrong. Once you call day trading, they think you have to execute it every day. That's not what day trading is. All right. So there are the conditions that makes up day trading. There are the conditions that make up for swing trading, and there are the conditions that make up for short-term opposition trading. So if you solve personality problems, sit down and think, are you the type of person that really has the emotional stature to just wait and leave the trade run for 2 days? Some people do it for weeks. Some people do it for even months. When I see their trades, I admire it. No problem. Maybe subsequently, I'm going to grow into leaving my positions to run into weeks, into months, and of course, okay, but I've never done that. So I do day trading. Then the next is talking about psychology, of course. All right, of course. You see, someone who is actually trading to solve a need is going to have a problem trying to do swing trading as well. Because in your mind, your psychology is already positioned to just take out something out of this market because you have a need. So you need to edge. Also, your psychology also affects your trading edge. Okay. Then the next is routine. So for me, where this routine falls in is talking about time. All right. The summary of my concept or the concept that I trade is summarized into 2 things: time and price. The timing is what gives me the routine. I have a routine because of the time the strategy comes with. Okay. So I wake up every morning. I don't do anything before London show. I just wait once it's the London session. I mean, 2 to 5 times, I know it's London. That already creates a routine for me, right? And once it's 5 a.m., I can go and do lunch because I already know that the next time I should be looking at the chart is 7 to 10 a.m. New York time, which is New York session. You see that it's specific. Trading is not sitting with the chart 24 hours. It becomes very boring. Very boring. Traders who do that are traders who have not yet understood their edge. There are traders who only stick with the New York session. They only look at the chart once it's 7 to 10 a.m. New York time. In Nigerian time, it's I think it's 12 to 3 p.m. now because of the daylight savings. All right. So that's the only time they are looking at the chart. You can see how edge works. So you need to know what's the routine for the strategy you are trading. All right. Then talking about strategy, this is where you need to solve 3 things. How do I enter? How do I enter? When do I enter? And how, I mean, how do I end? When do I end? By asking what you're talking about time, right? Time. So that's the routine I'm talking about. Good. Then the last is how do I exit? Also, when do, for example, a peak system that tells you how to execute. When you finish, this is what most traders do. They spend time doing a lot of analysis, but they never enter a trade. All right. You will see them doing plenty analysis. They never enter it. They will never enter any trade because they don't know how to enter. Yes, we know you have told us it's going to be bearish, but how do I enter? It's important. That's what gives you the edge. So if you solve questions like how do I enter, when do I enter? So for me, how do I enter? I will enter when I see price. If I want to sell, when I see price, trade into a premium region of the recently created price range. I will be willing to sell if price is in a premium region. That's summary I'm trying to give. Okay. Then when do I enter? Because even if the conditions for how is met, but when is not confluencing with how, there is no edge. It shouldn't be executed. The when now tells me that it has to be between 7 a.m. GMT plus 1 to 10 a.m. GMT plus 1 because that's London session. Even if the conditions for how are met, but the when is not in agreement. For day trading, that's not my setup, because if you enter a trade, it will just go into time distortion. It will just do a lot of accumulation, consolidation. You will, at the end of the day, you will just waste a lot of time with the chart. Then the next question is, when do I exit and how do I exit, right? How do I exit and when? So how I exit is when the conditions for the entry, when the opposite conditions for the entry imprint themselves on the chart, I just know that something is changed. Same way I entered, the opposite condition has already imprinted itself on the chart. Then I know that something has changed. That's number one. Another way to exit is when your target is met, either take profit or you are taking partials or price has traded into a region you have outlined, because some traders will see price trading to their original or initial objective, but because of greed, you now shift take profits downward and you never get to take profits. Okay, so taking profit is also how to exit. All right. Then when do I exit? Even if I know the trade is going to trade 200 pips to the downside, but because I'm doing day trading, I know that I will not be comfortable leaving my trade, spend another 1-2 days while I'm sleeping. I've tried to do that. Price traded 100 pips. The next minute, the next morning, he went back to my entry. That's crazy. I don't want to be having that kind of emotional disbalance. So the when is immediately New York session ends and we are already at bond close. The timing is already closed. No activity is going to happen in the marketplace. I'll close my trade and go, even if it doesn't hit my target. You see that, right? So these are the 4 things that makes up an edge. You must solve strategy. Strategy is as important. In fact, strategy should carry more percentage. Forget about traders who say things online. Okay, prop trading is good, but you need to have a strategy that works. And a strategy must incorporate 4 things like I just outlined. How do you enter a trade? When do you enter a trade? When do you exit? And how do you exit? If your strategy incorporates these things, in your how to enter, you should be able to incorporate risk management. What percentage are you risking for this very entry signature? All of these things fall under your strategy. Okay? And routine talks about time and price. So these 2 things, when they meet together institutionally, institutions trade with time. And institutions even pay attention to time before looking at charts. Timing is more important to them than price action. So if the time is not in confluence with what you are seeing, that's not your setup. Just walk away. Then the 3rd thing is psychology. Psychology is something you are never going to have a hack for it, because we are human beings. Every day of our life, our psychology is changing. You see that? Every day of our life, our psychology is changing. For example, I was on a GBP USD buy trade during the CPI that was released earlier on today, right? I knew I saw it that I was going to buy. But few minutes to that news,
it was
a second thought now was not telling me, will you not just close this your buy and just stay? Because what if price hits your SL? Will you be happy? And a second thought again, I said, just wait and see. Fortunate enough, price went to my direction. You see that? So psychology is something you keep battling with. But over time, when you start to make money, the psychological disbalance is going to reduce, because now, obviously, you are not making money to meet up needs. So as you grow in trading, you're going to mature and you're going to be able to control your psychology and emotions. Then the last part of it, like we said, is personality. Know yourself. It's very important.
Awesome. Awesome. Amazing, amazing key points. Really, really amazing key points. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So Nick, over to you. Like, what do you think about that? What do you think about it? Do you think an edge is a function of all of this? For what is an edge to you? He just spoke about an edge. You know, I actually see an edge as a combination of the strategy, your routine, your personality, and what's the last one again? You know, I see 4 of them that I mentioned. I see it personally as a combination of those 4. But what is an edge to you? What exactly is an edge to you?
Let me not be monotonous. I think Mr. Bala has mentioned a lot of things in that perspective. For me, the way I like to summarize it to my students is 3 things. Number 1, technical analysis, all right, which is your strategy, just like you mentioned. Okay, your analysis, your technical analysis must be set right. You must actually know what you're looking for in the market. What is price doing? What is the history of price? You understand? You should have mastery in looking at the chart and knowing, okay, what is the history of price? What is price doing? Okay, and where is price headed to? You understand that technical analysis. And the truth is, most of the time, a lot of traders know how to do this. You understand? Many traders are good on the chart. They can plot everything, plottable for them. But moving to the second thing for an edge, is what I call trade management. Okay, technical analysis, most persons know, most traders are good in that, but trade management is an issue. And for me, trade management now, my context, okay, to conceptualize it for me, is to say trade management is understanding how to manage your trade, how to effectively profit from the trade opportunity that you see. So you see, in this line, it has to do with also timing. Okay, I think Mr. Bala has mentioned that. For me, I really don't trade. I don't trade around the clock. I can have the best opportunity for Asia. Then most times, I plot my analysis, my chart, and I have my POI and everything. I wake up in the morning and I see that, okay, price it, during Asia. I don't, even London, I don't really, I basically trade New York future bar, you understand? For me, that has been working for me over time. You understand? So if you know how to, manage, trade management has to do with, your timing and many other things in that perspective. But let me jump to the last one, trade management. So I said technical analysis, trade management, then trader management. The last one, trader management.
Trader management.
Trader management. You must understand who is the trader. Most people want to know how to manage the chart, then do everything, but not themselves. You understand? You see, I think trading starts inwards than outwards. You understand? Trading reveals who you are. You get most times, if you've not sorted out other aspects of your life, I think trading just reveals that you are not disciplined. You really don't have you are not temperate. It just shows you a lot of things about yourself.
You're not patient. You're impatient.
It shows you are greedy. Trader management tells you, okay, I need to learn how to tame greed. You understand? Start talking about trader management. Okay, I need to learn how to tame greed. I need to put myself under subjection. Like I know I'm not really on track when it comes to all this. You get. Let me say this. Okay, myself, Mr. Bala, and Mentor, we're on screen right now. We can give a call. Okay. Gold is a sure buy. The traders we have, hearing us. I'm telling you, not all of them will profit from that trade. Why? Because different personality. One person we have maybe $100 account. Let me enter one standard lot. Mentor, Bala call gold. God, this is my escape route to poverty. You understand? Oh, let me enter a standard lot. Another person. Remember when I used one mentor one time told me to buy gold and I will not blow my account. I'll use 0.01. One will enter 0.01 on a $1,000 account. You see, you just see how play. We've mentored people, so we know we can give a call. We can teach 100 people one particular thing. Everybody will come out different results. That's human. Why? Because, back what I'm saying about trader management. if you really don't understand trader management, you feel forex is an endless journey. You understand? And trader management, inside of this, that way you get to talk about self-discovery. Inside of it, you tell yourself, okay, I think as in line with this forex, I need to have a side income. Because you tell yourself that I think the way I trade, right, forex cannot really profit every month. All right. And it's possible that every week I may not be profitable. Okay. And I know myself, since I need money, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on forex and everything. Why don't I have a side income? You get to understand your personality. You get to know, okay, this is how it is, So that bit about trader management. Let me know about flog it. Okay, so technical analysis, Mr. Bala said that about strategy. He talks about trade management, timing, and everything. But I just wanted to emphasize on trader management. Talks about trade management. So I just wanted to emphasize about trade management. So a lot of traders really need to come to terms with their person. You really need to understand your kind of person. A lot of traders have itchy hands, itchy hand, like every day. It happens to me too. I just see the truth is forex is addictive. That's why you can blow $1 million trading forex in 3 months time. You have $1,000, you will come back. It's addictive. Yeah, it's addictive.
True.
And a lot of people really in this line, they just feel, okay, it's now become like an endless chase, right? Because they've not understood their person. You understand? So let me not just overflow it. So trader management is important in having an edge. If you don't understand your person, you're going to do a whole lot of mess. Okay, so you know that, well, I'm really not good with the lower time frame. Let me just chill on it. Okay, I think this particular trading style, okay, from your trader management, you get to know all this. You get so that's it about it.
Awesome. Please, if we can just recap the 4 things again. I think you mentioned, is it 4? Yeah, I think you said 3.
Yeah, 3 things. Number 1,
yeah,
technical analysis, right? Okay.
As a strategy.
Trade management. Instead of trade management, you also have risk management, all right? Timing, and the rest of it. Then finally, trader management, which is my emphasis. You understand? Trader management. In trader management, you learn how to take breaks. I get to understand that workers, right? Whether government workers take leave, they call it leave, right? Traders are the only one trading 365 days. Now, thank God we have volatility. When it's weekend, I remember when the MT5 volatility, of course, just came out there. One of my, because I was also new to the FI journey, one of my, why I was enthusiastic about it was like, thank God, market when they close again. Can you imagine? Thank God, market when they close again. So Friday night, Saturday we begin to fire volatility. Sunday night, we can't wait for the forex market to open. You need to learn how to take breaks. Because if you don't learn how to take breaks, you are going to break down. So you should all this, a lot about all this, you understand? A lot about it.
Amazing team. Amazing points. Really amazing. Thank you for that.
I think.
Okay. Okay, we're saying something, Francis.
His mic is muted.
All right, I think I can't unmute myself except you permit us to.
Okay, yeah, the admin is handling that.
Thank you so much, Nick, for such an amazing disposition. Really, he also reminded me of something I forgot to mention. All right, your strategy must incorporate trade management. Okay, and I just want to share a simple trade management strategy that I use alongside our other colleagues. That's what we use. All right, I'm giving you for free. Okay, because most traders don't know what to do if your trade is, because by the time you place a trade, I'm sure you had a goal, right? The goal was to do possibly 100 pips on that trade. Okay, you were willing to lose 20 pips and you were aiming for 100 pips. Just an example I'm citing. That's 1:5, the risk reward ratio, isn't it? So what do you do when your trade is 40 pips in profit? What do you do? Most traders don't know. What do you do when your trade is 60 pips in profit? Most traders don't know. All right. And that is what trade management is, because that's where you see traders say things like, my trade was 80 pips to my profit target. All of a sudden, price went back to, and you did nothing simply because you don't know how to manage trades. Okay, so a simple hack is this: if trade is, or if your trade is 25 pips to your direction, okay, once your own trade is going in your direction and it's 25 pips to the target, 25%, sorry, 25% to the target, you should reduce your SL by 25%. Saying it again, if your trade is 25 pips in your direction, reduce your stop loss by what? 25%. Then if your trade is 50 pips to your direction, you must bring your SL to break even. Bring SL to what? Break even. Once price is 50% in your direction, that means if your target was 100 pips and you are 50 pips in profit, simply shift your SL to what? Break even. Then by the time price is 75% to your target, you must trail stop by 25%. Trail stop by what? 25%. So that means you are shifting your SL to 25% of the profits. Okay, that means if it's 100 pips, your SL will now be 25%, 25 pips in profit. By the time trade is 100 pips, it has hit your target. So bad as it's bad, you go fit take 25% of the entire trade projection you had initially. Okay, because we are trying as much as possible also to avoid close marking. Some traders like to do trade stop very close. Small retracement will just remove you out, and price will still go in your direction. All right, so simple hack: 25% in profit, reduce SL by 25%. Okay, if you want to be very conservative, you can reduce by 50%. If price is 50% in profit, you must bring SL to break even. All right, once price is 75% in profit, SL must be 25% in profit. So that's it.
Awesome.
I think to add to that trader management, rather, right? I think another thing, I think I have a list of what I discussed in this trader management stuff. I'm just trying to bring them to my mind right now. Another thing traders need to know about is how to manage period of drawdown. Like when I was talking about stop loss, just remember you're going to have bad days in the market. One of the first things I tell my students, tell them the people my one-on-one that come, I say, see, the forex market was not designed for you to be profitable. The first thing you need to understand is how not to lose before you say how you want to make. That's the truth. It wasn't designed for you to make money of it. So have an awareness of, okay, since it wasn't designed for me to make money, how do I not lose? If you know how not to lose, then make progress. Okay, that's risk management. But talking about trader management, people traders should understand how to manage period of drawdown. I don't know. I don't know about Mr. Bala or Mentor Samie, but for me, I've had a month where I really did not make anything. You understand? I have month, not a month. I have month. I have it has happened recently. You understand? So in those periods, sometimes what traders do most times, you should just, if it's not working, just keep pressure, just keep putting pressure. They feel okay somehow, and that I think it's been a long time I do an account, not because I don't need to have bad days or months, simply because when maybe I'm trading an account and the account goes minus 60% or 70%, I stop trading. The reason why I stopped trading, whatever made me to lose 70%, gonna make me lose 30%. Gonna make me lose 30%.
Very true.
So three things. If what made me lose the 70% was maybe a bad market condition, it's likely that the bad market condition will persist for more. Or maybe it's a bad trader management, me, my own self. Or maybe it's just bad technical analysis. So if I don't take a break, I will never identify it. Because when you are driving, if you don't pause, you will not know what's ahead of you. You won't know how to overcome that encumbrance that is ahead of you. Okay, there is actually a ditch that's still just going. There's a ditch, you are just going. There's a ditch. You understand? That's really the challenge with most traders. So I think they should understand, or traders rather, we should understand how to manage the period of drawdown. Like those bad moments, because the truth is you're going to have it. You just prepare yourself. If you've not had it, then it's waiting for you ahead. You understand? Regardless of the strategy you feel you're trading, there's going to be months where it's just going to be hell, it's going to be bad. It's like there's an array of arsenals from hell against you. Right? For it to be that way, you understand? So in those moments, what do? It's time for you to sit back, relax, enjoy people losing their money while you are saving yours. You understand? It's just time for you to like, oh wow, it's like this, just time for you to say, okay, let me just even watch this. Let me go to Carrie's a YouTube channel. How you trade, you understand? Possibly maybe you trade a different strategy and you are learning. You're just, it's not just always hitting the button. Let's wait till 74 now game. You go, you're going down. You understand? So I always say something. Day trading doesn't mean trading every day, and I think Mr. Bala mentioned it earlier. You understand? And that's one of the challenge traders have. I saw an analysis recently. Okay, I'm remodeling a lot of things in my academy, so I'm doing some research, and I saw an analysis on PropFed, and it says that for people who actually get payout at the end of the month, most of them don't trade, I think, more than, I think, is it 12 times in a month? They don't take more than 12 trades or something.
In a month. True.
Those who get payout. Then he said those who lose their account, they take more than 25 trades.
Interesting.
So you see that the pathway to profitability is less, not more.
It's not speed.
It's not speed. It's not
but there are a lot of people who just feel, when I wake up in the morning, 8 a.m. London session, and thank God I'm in Nigeria, 8 a.m., it's still London session.
Must take a trade.
Let's hit something.
Oh God, I'm in Nigeria.
I just have to screenshot. Let me screenshot this thing. It will take a lot of discipline. I won't like you. I learned this the hard way. I'm very much comfortable not trading for 14 days, no shaking. That's why you really need to have have plans how to diversify. Just calm down, no shaking. You're not trying to prove to anybody. You're not proving a point. Okay, so just like, I think this is one of the things that I said I was going to talk about, and thank God I remembered.
Awesome. Like, really, really, I'm really learning, and I'm really, really inspired. Really, really inspired, and I'm really learning a lot. Our time is fast spent, so I'll just try and see how I can. There really a lot to talk about, but and I really thank everyone for your patience. I thank everyone for still staying, patiently, still waiting patiently. Like, I believe a lot of us are gaining a lot of values. I myself, like, I'm learning a lot. Like, after now, I'm going to hijack Nick and Bala. Like, I'm going to hijack them, like, put their heads together and say, man, I need to move on from where I am, So fantastic stuff. So I wrote this stuff here. We've been saying a lot, and I wrote a few things here. Given the statistics released by the forex industry, which indicate that a large percentage of traders fail, what are your thoughts on the accuracy of these statistics? There's usually the statistics that says, I think, is it only 15% of traders are profitable or something like that. So I listened to a podcast for one of these amazing traders, Omar Shafat. Don't know if you know him. Omar Shafat, one of these crazy stocks traders. And he said, when he was asked that question, he said he doesn't believe that 95% of traders fail. He said why it looks like that is because a large percentage of traders, he actually said they make that mistake. They fall into that category because of the access, of how easy it is to have access to the industry. Anybody can just wake up, just be scrolling your scrolling through Facebook on your mobile phone, the mobile device, and then you just see a sponsored ad just pop out on your screen, buy here, sell here, those stuff. and then the person just registered and say, wow, make $1,000 today by just clicking this button, and before you know, that person has started, his journey into trading, tries the first trial. I know people who have met me, and when I say, have you traded before? They say, yes. I'm like, okay, tell me about your experience. They say, they were scrolling through their Facebook or their Instagram profile, and an advert popped up on their screen, and they saw, if you buy now, you make $25,000, and they clicked, follow the link, follow the link, follow the link, and they got to where they are now, and they're probably looking into starting their mentorship proper. So he said a lot of people fall into that category of 95% because of the access, because of how easy it is to have access to the industry. And that's purely because you can easily just come online, Google babypips.com, start learning, download MentorTrader. And so there is no guided there's no guided mentorship. There's no guided mentoring. It's random, just like Francis said earlier. He said, he doesn't feel like you need to go through all this process. If you can meet someone who can say, do this, do this, do this, you can easily just move from point A to point B. So Omar Shafat actually said that a lot of people, fall into that category, and because of that, because of how easy it is to have access to the industry, a lot of people fall into that category. If you're a medical doctor, you have to learn you have to practice. You learn for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, then you become, you start getting to a point where you're not called a professional, and then you're called a doctor. You have to practice. You have practicals, practicals. But the way the trading industry is, I believe it's part of the strategies for the banks and the industry. I believe it's part of to slay a lot of retailers, because as difficult as trading is, let me not say difficult, as tough as it is, they still make it very easy for people to access. So I think these guys are really after retailers, like to slay a lot of retailers. So I believe it's part of their strategy to just, get people getting their hands burnt over and over and over and over and over. So it makes it look as if it's just 15% people, 15% of people who are actually doing exploits. So I really don't know. I really don't know when exactly, or I really don't know what you guys think about this. What are your thoughts? Like, do you think traders are really failing? Do you think the traders that make profit are really are less than those who are really failing? And what do you think is really the cause of this? Nick, you can, over to you.
Right, me?
Nick.
Okay, can you hear me? My mic was muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, I think the statistics are right. I think traders who are not successful are actually more than those who are successful. You can use your really no need of even going online. Just your circumference. People you know who are traders. You understand? Just do a microscopic analysis. You understand? And you tell yourself that there is a bit of truth in this thing. You understand? So largely, I feel the reason for that is because trading is different from maybe other online skills. Okay, maybe for example, UI UX designer, right? Trading, you can learn perfectly the skill, the technical analysis and everything, but personality has a lot to do, and so that takes you a longer journey. But possibly a UI UX designer just enrolls to get the skill, and over the course of 6, 8, 10 months, he has perfected everything, goes on Fiverr and picking jobs, making $1,000 a month. But the trader who started 10 months ago with the very UI UX designer also, now is finding it difficult. 10 months, the guy, instead of making $1,000, is owing his family, relative, cousins minus $10,000. You get, the reason is he has the skill, technical analysis and everything, but the problem is the psychological part. And for me, I think, okay, it takes 6 months to learn trading, but it takes at least 2 years to learn yourself. That's to say, to learn the trader. So I don't have a big deal when a trader tells me I've been trading for 2 years, I've not been profitable. I know you know many things. The thing is, just keep journeying. You're on a journey to self-discovery, except you are rolling. That's to say, except there is no track record. You are not building steps. You are just jumping from one strategy to another. You are not following your routine. But if you are following the routine, just keep journeying. You are on a journey, and very soon you are just going to break out, just like a water out of the rock, rather. Just keep gushing out to torrent. You understand? So just I feel the statistics, they are there, is correct and everything. But largely, that statistics is largely tied to the fact that trading is psychological. It's not trader's fault. You understand? Trading is the battleground of the mind. And you see, in life, anything that has to do with mind, a lot of people are defeated there. You understand? So it's nothing that has to do with maybe Forex is like this or like that. That's just how it is. Okay. But over time, I feel those who don't give up, some people are going to even take them 3 years, some people 4, some people 5 years. You understand? But at the end of it, they just come to a realization that, yeah, this is it. We've had people who started trading in 2018 and really did not make anything. But it was last year, I know someone, a student, very good guy. This guy knew everything about technical analysis and everything. But it was last year he had his first payout from what they call from, I think my first from one of the prof there. You understand? So what if he had given up? But it was just a journey, you understand? A journey to self-discovery. So I think basically this is it, you understand?
Awesome. Amazing perspective. Amazing perspective. You keep journeying, having that, guided focus and, structural approach, building steps and not just jumping from here to here, like Bala was saying, how it took out like extensive time. It took out like a whole year on ICT, day nine, all day, So building steps, not just jumping here. That's why I love the fact that, we're able to talk about an edge, and, the fact that it covers for your personality. It comprises of your personality, your psychology, your routine, and your strategy. So I like the fact that we're able to deal with that, and hearing Bala saying that, he doesn't have the patience of holding a trade 2 days, 3 days, It's interesting to even know that because Nick is just right here too. And Nick holds trades for, as long as a month. I remember one of your trades, I think, was it last year or so? It was maybe 4K to like 16K or so. And I was like, wow, just holding the trade. And then the amazing part is the lot sizes are even small. Like you just hold like 0.5 on 4K, put like maybe 0.5, 0.5, 3 trades and just let it ride, and, you just see, I love it when I see like very small pips and, the profit is huge. It makes me, that's why I love like US 30. I love that pair, I'm cooking out, building a lot around that currency pair. That's one of the reasons I did like the school of price action and stuff, to just understand what exactly is the edge that they have along that pair, the US 30 asset class, because the way, that pair can scale you up within the twinkle of an eye. All this waiting, catching 100 pips, 200 pips. No. The way that pair moves, when it moves, like this London session or this New York session that we had CPI, where other currency pairs are doing 100 pips, 200 pips, US 30, the same size of volume of candle will be giving you like 800 pips.
Interesting.
So you see 0.5 lots giving you like $6,000. Like how?
And the funny part is that those indices have a simpler price action than currencies.
Exactly. Simpler.
The currencies.
Yes, it has, so amazing. Amazing. Good to hear that. So what do you think about that, Bala? That time is fast approaching.
Yeah.
So let's know what you think about that.
Well, it's actually true. Not many traders are really cashing out from the market. It's terrible. Right? Personally, I did some research recently. Yeah, I did some research recently, and a typical example is this. Now, I'm sharing this because of my just the last interview I had with Jeffrey Benson, right? About my withdrawal with consumer traders. At some point, it's really, really a cause to worry that with all the traders in Nigeria, nobody, when they were looking for somebody to interview who has made withdrawal, they passed the borders of Lagos till they reached Borno State before they found one person.
One person.
Do you understand? One person who has done the highest number of withdrawal till date. So recently I was really thinking, I said, what's happening? Is it that traders are not making money or what's going on? It's really a cause to worry. All right. So recently I now decided to do a research. So I just picked a few group of young people I know who know how to trade. So I gave them accounts to trade, and I'm just studying the performance, and I'm understanding why really some traders may never really get to cash out. Right? Now, a major part of the reason is what Nick just outlined, the psychology behind it. Most traders don't trade their plan. A simple way to know this is just go to your trading history, then study the things you executed on the charts and the things you really wrote down on your journal, that these were the things you were going to execute trade for. These were the conditions, and this is the risk management you are going to use. And this is the number of trades you are going to take per day. Then look at the things you are doing on your MT4. You will know where the problem is. Most of the times, there are two contrary things. The things you wrote down you were going to do and the things you ended up doing on your MT4 are really parallel. And exactly why many traders are really not going to take out money from the market. Now, how I do it is simple, all right? Because when you study how big institutions do it, like what is it called now? Goldman Sachs, right? They are Goldman Sachs and other institutions, how they do it. They don't do flipping of accounts. That's not their goal. Every month and even every year, they have a target. You hear them celebrating wins like, we did 10% annual returns, and they are celebrating that win for like 10 years. We've been doing 10 years annual return. And I'm like, hey, these people are doing 10 years annual return, and they are celebrating this win over a period of 10 years. But you want to do 100% now, almost every week. That's the goal for most traders. They want to be 100%. Like the guy I saw on which of these broker, my Forex, is it my Forex founder or Forex? One of these broker, the guy who did $30,000 profit on his prop account, a 300K prop account, he did $30,000. That's 10%. My oga, go and rest. When you cash out $30,000, you can think of other things you want to do. This Baba say no.
You want to make more.
We even wonder whether it's village people. The guy said no. He went and did 400 lots on a high impact measure. 400. Right. And he still lost the account. It was the broker that now came and was consoling. They were feeling for on the Discord community. And I say, you go fear when your own broker, prophet, they feel for you. It's terrible. So what really is the issue? The psychology is doubled. Most traders don't have a goal. And even if they have a goal, compliance is very hard. Compliance is very hard. So for me, I think the way to conquer this is simple. Really, once you hit your target, maybe on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, because the chart is highly addictive. The chart is highly addictive. How did I know that? I watched how ICT on Twitter. ICT tweeted that, all right, guys, I'm done for today. See you guys. By next week, he's going to have a good time with his family. 30 minutes later, ICT posted on Twitter. I'm like, so you can see how addictive the chart is. The chart is very addictive. And
Yes.
the only way to conquer it is once you hit your target, close the chart. Go and do something else. Go and do something else. If I'm on a trade and I don't like the way the trade is doing me because of the drawdown, for example, even though before you enter the trade, you already knew how much you were willing to lose, maybe 1% of your account or 0.5%. So when I start to see that drawdown and I don't feel comfortable, I do something very simple. I just go out of the trading floor. I'll just take a walk, go downstairs, buy Coke, sit down there and drink the Coke. When I finish drinking the Coke, I'll now stand up and go back and go and see how far, what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you get? So you have to learn how to manage yourself. You are the major problem. You are the reason why it's going to be very difficult to cash out from the market. Then the last aspect is maybe acceptable to some it may not be acceptable. All right, you have to work on yourself. If you don't have the aura to attract money, you're not going to attract money. Even if you are going to lose it. If you don't sustain the positive energy to attract money, all right, you can be as good as you can think with technical analysis, but you are not going to see it translating into money. Translating analysis into real money, it's totally a different, it's something you may need to study. Traders, I'm telling you this sincerely, it's something you may need to study. If you master it, maybe work on your personality, work on yourself, work on your, I don't want to really go into, because some things are believable to some people, some are not. So whatever you believe, it's fine. All right, whatever you believe, it's fine. But this money you see, you can work on yourself and put yourself in a position where money is comfortable coming to you first before you start thinking of translating analysis into physical money.
Mr. Bala, to just cut you short, the truth is there's a spiritual aspect to trading.
Exactly.
So, I learned that from Sean Lee. You understand? When you see traders that have gone ahead, like do some certain things, you know that, man, it is deeper than just plotting trend line. It is deeper than just drawing. So you're right. There's actually a spiritual aspect to trading.
The season in my life, something happened to me when I did some things, and then I went to somebody who is ahead of me, and prayed for me. Okay, and I went back. The next 9 days, I traded 6. Maybe if you check my YouTube or talk, I less $1 on synthetic indices to $3,700. Isn't that crazy? Like, even me, I was surprised with the way the money was coming. Like, I knew that this was beyond, because I knew those things earlier. I knew those things, not like I don't know them. I know those things. But what happened? I knew that. Yes, I knew that really there was an energy that was added on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you try as much as possible to learn these things, it's going to be very easy. Otherwise, top. World is simple.
Awesome. Amazing. You said something, you mentioned compliance, and when it comes to compliance, it's very important. I think that's where community plays a major role. Being in a community of like minds play a major role, because my mentor, Sir Ejimi, always says, it's difficult to a major impact on your mind, can play, pranks on you at certain times. So he always used to say, don't, in as much as you're very good, if there's a compliance system at structure in place, it helps you as a trader, because sometimes traders, it's not as if traders are not, making this profit, but sometimes, to see this profit and close it is a problem. To see, you can see $10,000 running, and to click X from your MetaTrader is a lot of problems. So you need somebody to tell you, close it now. That for me helped me, like, a lot in my journey. I know times with that number, you know, mentor Ejimi will just call me and say, Samie, have you cashed out this week? I'll say, I'm still in the trade. He say, how much have you made? I'll be like 80%. Close it now. Place the withdrawal now. You know, he say, close it now. Place the withdrawal now. You know, so that has a lot of, it has a major role, because you can have all the technical knowledge, you know, have all it takes to be able to make this profit, but you know, there are some kind of amounts that you cannot just use your eye and start seeing it going back. You know, when you are seeing 10K, 20K, and then you are now seeing it going back in your eyes with this kind of Nigerian economy, man, you need someone to also be screaming in your ears, withdraw your profits, withdraw your profits. So that compliance strategy or structure is very, very important, very, very key. I know traders that do a lot, you know, would do crazy profits, but withdraw this thing. I want to make more. Withdraw this thing. You smart your goal for the week, for the month. Withdraw this thing. I want to hit more. I want to hit more. And then you just see that it's just a circle of, you know, round circle of, go ahead.
To add to what you just said, mentor, right? I learned something by experience. Most times, you know, maybe if I set a goal to flip an account, possibly maybe to $5,000, possibly I did one time, and $200 to $5,000. When it was around, a few of my students who were around my location, then I called them, you know, to show them the proof and how I did everything. So I called them when it was around 2.5. They saw it and they were like happy, and I told them, okay, this is 5,000. This was the trade I was looking out to take. So I think that was on the Wednesday. By Friday, the account was 1.3. I think that 1.5 1.3. But by experience, I've learned that if I continue trading, I'm going to lose it. The fact that I had $5,000, you know, like that's the mental barrier already. So my mind is already telling me, you $5,000, that's the goal. Don't settle for this. But because of experience, I know that when you have a goal like Forex, you know, an amount in trading that you want to hit, and suddenly you are just halfway through it and you start going back, you start spiraling down, start going down, start dwindling a bit. If you don't take out your money, you're going to lose it completely. So I took out that remaining box, and that was how I saved the account. If it were me previously, what would have happened was that account would be grounded to zero, because I had a target of 5,000 and I won't rest until I get to that point. So that's what most traders difficult. Okay, when you have a projection, the fact that you did not hit your projection doesn't mean it was a bad trading. Understand? Find how you can just, even though it was 50% that came out of your projection, 30%, and just run away with it. Understand? Sometimes to run away with it better than to lose everything. You get
true. Very, very.
And I think one way to master how to do this is to master how to exit. Now, some of the guys, I know some of the guys we trade together with, they used to be surprised how that I'll be in a buy position. All of a sudden, I will just say, I'm closing this buy. Now, I'll just close the buy and enter a sell. Then we will now start selling. So they are like, how do you do these things? Then I say things like, you have to be flexible as a trader. I think trading is one of the professions where it really requires a high level of flexibility. It's not your father's house.
Sure.
The market is not your father's house. The market tells you where it wants to go to. So why are you sticking with your own bias instead of following what the market is telling you? You're already seeing it that it's telling you it wants to go down. But your head is saying that because you're in profit most of the times is when you are in profit. So you rather just believe that it has to keep going so that I will meet that my $10,000 goal, my $20,000 goal. All right. So I really learned a lot from learning how to change as the market is changing I'm changing my decision. It's not my father's house. I'd rather
That's
just
why we see we react, don't predict.
Yes.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah.
it. Master how to exit as well.
Amazing, amazing. Somebody is saying in the chat area, I say, please, Mr. Samie, we have time for this, please. Go on. Well, I understand. I understand that, a lot of people, in as much as a lot of people are learning, so people too might be having engagements to go on with. So I'll just try and see how we can rush through, the remaining process. Thank you so much, guys, for, sharing, from your wisdom. Like, I'm also learning a lot, really learning a lot. Okay. Okay, like looking at the trading industry over the past decade, most of us were probably not even thinking of trading. This is one question like I would have asked, Mentor Ejimi if he was here. It's for him because he was in that terrain,
That
so
era.
that era, they were the
Era
ones
of men.
but they went to dig strategy. Oh God, man, that experience. Crazy. Strategy. This PDF.
That time is only Forex Factory. That's the only place you find information.
I find exactly. So please, admin, if you can hear me, please get the link of their platforms, their Instagram platforms, their social media pages, their Telegram platforms, help find a way of posting it now, as we're talking. So I wanted to just like looking at the trading industry over the past decade. Do you think the Nigerian economy had a positive or negative impact on the industry? That was like one of the questions I reserved for him, but I don't know. Do we have anything to say about this? Do you think our economy has had a positive impact or a negative impact on the industry? I know that he used to say stuff like a time will come where, the FG or CBN may try to like place policies around trading, where, if you have to trade, you have to meet certain regulations and all of that, stuff like that. So I know a time like that will come. So I really would have loved him to answer this question. But if any of us, I don't know if it has economy have had a positive or negative impact on the industry. What, guys?
Okay. Prior to this time, prior to the emergence of prop firm, I would have agreed that the Nigerian had an impact on the industry because, of course, to get money to raise capital, that was very hard, right? What kind of job I do to raise a capital to trade? It's terrible. Now that there's no work, many graduates, no place to get work, so of course it will have been an issue. But with the emergence of prop firm, I don't think we are limited. Because what we are not country based, it's not location based. We're not. It doesn't have our nation and economy is not even a barrier to what we are doing, isn't it? So I don't think it really has an impact on what we are doing because of the emergence of prop firm. You can always get access to equity easier than ever without having to think of Nigeria and economy and their wahala. That's skillful.
That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
In addition to that, the prop firm system of paying through crypto actually circumvent the whole government control over everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So that crypto system that has to do with the prop firm payment and everything, funding and everything.
Yes.
So the government control over it is limited. So I think that way is circumvented. It's not possible. Understand? Just from my little opinion.
Very true. So I also wrote here, amazing. Compared to the past, how easy is it to find a mentor in the trading industry today? And what are some of those qualities or characteristics that traders should look for when selecting it all? Like how easy it is, to find a mentor, at this point. I believe this is like one of the platforms where, it is something I want to like keep doing over time. Like hopefully in the next 4 months again, I'll probably come up with like different set of traders, with their experiences to us and stuff. So this is something I really want to do long term. Like bring traders to the point where they are exposed and they can connect to traders. Like, people that they can see here, traders like Sanik and Bala, and all of that. So how easy is it to find a mentor like now, and what should traders look out for to be able to know that this is a mentor worth following? What are those things that you think? So Bala, you can.
All right. I think it has never been easy like it is now to identify a mentor who knows what he's doing and has what it takes to teach you how to trade. All right. Very simple. Now, there are a lot of things. Almost all the trading mentors now, it's either they have a YouTube channel, or if it's not a YouTube channel, they have a social media handle where you can literally access what they are doing, even though you are not going to get a full hand of information of everything they are doing, but you will have a clue that, okay, this person has been trading over a period of time and he knows what he's doing and he has a certain level of results. He qualifies to teach you. Okay. Few mentors you should avoid. I really, in my opinion, I don't want to injure somebody, but in my opinion, most of these mentors who are in the business of showing you how to flip accounts all the times, they are getting you exposed to, what is it called now? You are becoming more vulnerable to losses. Okay, they make it comfortable to lose all the times, and they show you how far they can lose as fast as possible. All right, it makes you look like gambling. Look at somebody who wants to do what you want to do in long term, or somebody who has been doing it over a period of time. And from the way they are even teaching, you can know whether this person knows what it is, except you just want to pay a dumb ear to what you are saying. All right. So just look at these things and then pick the one you feel you want to subject your life to. Because even though mentorship is key, I used to say that the effectiveness of mentorship is from the mentee, not really to the mentor. Right? He is the mentor. He's not going to kill himself to open your brain to put it inside. He's going to show you what to study so that you do the work. You are going to do the work. He's only going to show you what to study. All right, that's the purpose of mentorship. So look at somebody who has a community, you can enter their free community, or look at somebody who has trained others. A very simple way to examine whether the person knows how to trade is look at the people he has trained. And then how are they doing? Once you can find one or two, it simply tells you that he cannot teach you as well. As simple as that.
True. Amazing. Sanik.
Yes, Mr. Bala said a lot. So just to add to what you said, in a different perspective, I think if you want to choose a mentor, one of the criteria should be, first of all, knowledge. Okay, how very knowledgeable is the person, and second, the personality. What kind of person is the trader? the kind of personality you get. Then third, the availability. There are people you pay your money like this, you will not see them. They're taking courses, and they will just mentor this screenshot, they'll answer in 3 days time. And you can't argue. If you want to argue too much in the group, they'll put you out. I'm not telling you who's story, I'm telling you what I saw you get. So just look out for those criteria. Some big traders actually, because they've missed so much, they really want you to know that they are not feeding off your mentorship fee. And so when you put pressure on them, like, I need your guidance, be like, calm down. Why you rush me? You get all those kind of things, And so when you now put pressure, like, they can refund your money and put you out of this community. Look out for shit that is knowledgeable. Check out his personality, then also know if he's actually available, the kind of person will be available to guide you through the process.
So you said availability, personality, and
knowledge. Yes.
Knowledge. Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. I like that. Availability.
Knowledge too, I think, is experience. So just inside of it is experience. People who have actually gone through a lot of experiences. Like, when I mean experience, it's not different strategy now. Like, they've stayed longer in the market and they can tell you, this is most times how these things play out. People who have spent long hours on the chart. I think we joined late when Mr. Bala was talking about how he invested a lot of time day and night, studying on the chart. And like I was telling you, there are a lot of things I learned on the chart that really I did not learn from anybody. So later I discovered that, okay, people were actually doing this thing. This thing has a name. So look out for someone who has knowledge. That knowledge by the virtue of, I spent a lot of time on the chart, getting experience and doing this thing.
So actually, I think that last aspect of staying on the chart is where you are going to experience the last dimension of trading. I always emphasize this. Okay, there are 4 dimensions of trading. The last one is called intuitive dimension of trading. Right? You can learn fundamentals, which is the first. You can learn technicals, which is the second. You can learn sentiment, but nobody's going to teach you the intuitive dimension of trading. Sure. The intuitive dimension of trading only comes on account of intimacy with the chart and the currency pair you are trading. Okay, there are certain things you can see on an asset class that you have been trading for a long period of time, and because of that relationship, you've been staying with these charts. Even if the technicals don't have 100% confirmations, because of the relationship, you can literally feel that this thing is going to go this way and it will obey your intuition. All right. Then other times you will see that every other person is saying something else about that asset, but because you have done the homework, you've stayed with the chart, you've studied how the manipulations happen, it builds up that intuition in you. Sometimes even in your sleep, you can know where the direction of the pair is. I know this is a little bit controversial, right? But that's how it is. Sometimes even in your sleep. See, the reason why I said I don't want to do swing trading is that every time I'm on a trade and I go to sleep, I used to see the chart in my sleep. And the exact direction is going to. If it's going in the negative direction, I will see it going opposite. And once I wake up and open my chart, I will see it exactly where I saw it in the dream. So because of those experiences, I said, no, I don't want to be having these experiences. It's actually called intuition. And it's the last dimension of trading you should learn.
Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. So time is fast spent. I've said it like how many times now. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing your the wealth of wisdom. I really appreciate. I think we just have one more activity or two, maybe 2 to go. Let us see how we can wrap up. Latest by 10 will be done. So one activity I just want us to do is to just share. I believe we have like our PCs, our screen with us. I'll just like Nick to just show us his chart in like 1 minute. Just tell us like how he will look at the dollar from his perspective. Say, the dollar, what you want to see, how you want to like what you need to say about the dollar, what you're seeing from your perspective, like how do you see the charts? Just 1 minute, step-by-step process. Let us just see if that is possible.
Okay, I think I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I think we can. So now, and this is one amazing thing that, just always amazes me about, different traders' approach. I see Nick's chart sometimes, like, if I don't take out time to really, really look at it, I'm totally lost. I'm like, man, there are deep guys in this market. There are very deep people in this market. I'm like, okay, so just go ahead, sir. Like,
Okay, just in 1 minute, just like you said, right? So let
yeah.
me do this quickly. So basically for the dollar, I think we traded into premium here. This for the 3 month, just trying to build a top-down analysis. Okay.
Okay, start from 3 months.
Yeah, 3 month time frame. I'm just rush down to the monthly. Okay, so on the monthly currently, sometimes what I do on the monthly is to draw key levels and look out reaction candlesticks. Okay, so on the monthly currently, I can see the price is headed. It looks like we're going for this liquidity below, and my next point of reference will be to fill this imbalance down here. Okay, let me just rush down to the weekly. I'm trying to skip a lot of details because it costs a lot of time. Okay, so on the weekly, I think POI is shared in this. This is perfect. There's a confluence with this, I think, on the monthly with a level, right? Perfect. So I think this level on the monthly should be somehow retested. Just so no need of drawing that just here. Back to the weekly. Now, what is structure saying? Well, I think the last reference point for the demand is this, okay? But currently we've broken it, and it looks like, well, price was supposed to make a higher high, but obviously failed to sustain the momentum there. All right. The price was supposed to make a higher high, right? Failed to sustain the momentum. So all I'm expecting for rough price to take out this liquidity and we trade lower here to this point. So dollar for me is bearish. Just
Very,
I
very.
think the daily time frame, then 4 hours and I'm done. Okay. So but we're also going to take this out possibly soon. Understand? And finally, where we're headed for is this. Now you see, this was the demand that generated all this price action. Okay, so we see that this demand is actually failing to hold price. So obviously, if this is what's supposed to change the internal what I call minor structure actually on the weekly. All right, but currently we failed. Something like we had an AMD, a beautiful reaction, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. We ought to react on this beautifully and trade higher. Okay, but we failed. Tried again, to react on the discount, but we failed. So obviously, it shows you that when the bulls for DXY are very, very much stepping out of the market. Okay, on the 4 hour, we reacted off of this point, understand, and I think we are just running down on the DXY. So anything anyone wants to do would just basically be, trying to catch the move downwards. Okay, maybe from this reference point. But not all, you don't trade off all supply or demand. Okay, so there are a lot of things. The fact that price is at your POI does not mean you should be selling. But for me, for the Q2, right? Q2, right? It's Q2. For me, for the Q2, I see dollar is not diving down. We're diving down to 99 points, you understand, around this area. Okay, I see the dollar diving and I see JPY rising. You get so you know that what that means for USDJPY then. So let's see what happens.
Let's lay down. Fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. This is really, really great. So for those of you that have seen how he just did this breakdown, to be fair with you, like every time I come to his group and I look at these things, I'm just like, I try to just wrap my head around it. When I look, I just say, let me just go back to structure, JJly, the one that I'm very, familiar with, So, but that's Nick here doing his stuff. So if there's any swing trader that I am really confident about that does swing trading, it's Nick. I've seen him, like, just go to his profile, check, just like I said earlier, he's a PhD candidate. Excuse me. He's a PhD person. So, he hides that part of trading. He hides that part of trading. He's just doing his thing codedly. But, when I was about to do this event, I'm like, everybody has to know Nick. Everybody has to see that this guy has something to offer. Like, when it comes to swing trading, this one, he knows it. He knows it. Like, you need to join his free Telegram group. It will be posted in the perspective community after now, so everybody can, join in, and participate. So I don't want to dwell too much there. So Sir Bala, if you're still with us, just share 1 minute, what your projection for the dollar is. Let us see what you have to say. You saw Nick. Nick was just saying some things that I was just saying reference point. I was just wondering that wait, what is reference point? So all of that, I was just saying putting some lines in some places that I don't understand, so here you go. Just 1 minute, see charts now, see green and black chart again, Nick showed us black and white. See, Bala is showing us green and black. Go ahead, sir. Your mic is muted.
All right, thank you. So this is my chart. This is the dollar index. I usually like to start my analysis from the monthly time frame because that's where the dollar liquidity is. That's where the institution's position, where they are going to move their orders to. All right. So currently, what we are seeing on the dollar is that the dollar is bearish. And why it is bearish is because it traded off a volume imbalance on the monthly time frame. You can see it here. All right. And the dollar liquidity is the sell side liquidity, the fair value gap right here, and the mitigation block right here. This is how far the dollar will likely go, even into this mitigation block. That's where I'm seeing the dollar trading into. So the dollar is bearish. Yes, sir. That's all.
Fantastic. You see that, Nick, from a different perspective, it's just crazy. Like, when I see all these things, it amazes me. Like the same chart, saying the same stuff. Now, if you look at my chart, it's totally different because I'm a master of, I love to use Fibonacci every time. So if you look at my chart, let me quickly do that. Where are you? Let me quickly share mine. Where are you now? Nope, not here. Okay, just on the side, this is a free chatting software, gochatting.com. You can do all the back tests, everything you want to do. If you want back tests, you have all of it for free on this platform. You don't need to be on paid subscription to use it. It's just like TradingView. You can back test, gochatting.com. You can check it for free, free software, but that's not where I wanted to go to. Where is my browser? I'm looking for my Edge browser and I can't find it. Can you imagine? Just a second, guys. Let me close a few tabs and see maybe to show. Let me share my desktop and see, and then go there. Okay, this is my chart. This is what my chart looks like. I believe you can see. So I use Fibonacci a lot. Like Fibs is like my 5 and 6. So I'm also very bearish on DXY. Of course, I like to see I like to use 2-day to look at the market. So from a 2-day perspective, you know, I already have like a big break of structure on the weekly somewhere around here. So I'm seeing price retesting this high, you know, and then basically coming down to this high. So we see like at the moment it's still within until we break below this low, you know, I'll be very certain that we'll go bearish. You know, for now, I'm still seeing like a key level that's still resisting price, you know, from probably pushing lower. So, but if price successfully breaks below this structure, then we might be seeing price coming all the way to this low. So let me see on the weekly chart. So this is what my Fibs looks like on the weekly. So we're seeing like a trend line here and break of structure and a retest. See that now, and we're seeing the current weekly candle pushing in lower. So you can see this. I'm still very bearish. So you see Bala Francis from his standpoint, very bearish. From Nick's standpoint, very bearish, you know, and also from my standpoint, very bearish. So we're just approaching like an area of equal lows, you know. So probably if this continue lower, then we can still price trading into this level or the level lower. So this is just, you know, my perspective. So I do, you know, purely raw market structure. I see structure only in the charts, you know. So this is just how I see the market. So I believe, you know, we can see that different perspectives and, you know, different people, you know, different approaches, you know, to the market. If Mentor Ejimi was here, I'm sure he would have showed us, you know, how he correlates the bonds and bullion charts, you know, tracks the what they call it, what they call this stuff, inflation and the interest rates, you know, from the dollar, from, you know, different, maybe from Q1 into Q2, you know, he would have been able to show some of those stuff, you know, and show if there's still like demand for the dollar in this season, considering that, you know, most of the foreign nations are currently withdrawing from having trading with the dollar at the moment. So we might see the dollar weaken, you know, more and more and more and more and more. So that's basically what it is, guys. So just like I said, the whole goal of this meeting is to be able to bring us to a point where we can have that synergy. So it doesn't look like you know, everybody here has been able to, you know, pour out their hearts and have showed you a level of transparency about how to trade. Bala Francis said he can do 2 days holding a trade. Nick says, you know, I know Nick for sure. Nick is 5 days minimum, you know, 1 month, 2 months plus is holding a trade. For me, you know, I don't mind doing anyone. Like I can do all of them. You know, I can do, you know, intraday. I can decide to, of course, if I have a target, anyone that you know, if I just look at the market, you know, and I see a situation that wants to play out, I can do both of them. So it's just, our personalities, understanding all of that. So I'm sure so far so good, this has been helpful to you guys. And I said the second reason is not to is to give us a perspective. So well, now that we understand our personalities are different, now I cannot come out to boast and say, my strategy is more accurate than Sabala, and he cannot come out and say this, and all of that. And Nick cannot come out and say this. Our goals are different, and from our standpoint, what we see is different. There are certain times that I see the market and I know it's going to range from what I'm seeing. I know the market is going to run. I'm seeing somebody else saying it's going to buy, and then the market is just dancing, different perspective. Sometimes I buy USD JPY, somebody else is selling it, either we both take profit or one person takes a loss, just seeing perspective and knowing that most importantly, our goal, our targeted goal is what is most important, and, secondly, one of the most important things is that this is also a platform to connect to mentors. This is Nick here, supply and demand, pro, good in it. If you want to know how to swing your personality, if you're the type that works 9 to 5, you're not looking at the chart, just go and grab Nick's leg now. Like after now, just go and grab him and say, man, son of man, have mercy on me. If you're the one who is ICT, of course, you already know the story. You already know the rest of the story. So Bala Francis is here for you to connect with him. Personality, understanding of your personality works together. The links to their IG and Facebook handle is on the chat. It's in the chat area right now. So you can scroll through, even after now, they will be posted in the perspective group so everybody can join in. Yeah, someone said nobody is right or wrong in the market. I saw a post where someone said, you can be in the same trade. I can be selling GBP USD and being 30 pips, but I can be buying and being 80 pips profit. Two sides of the market. And Nick can be in the middle, just scalping up and down and still be making profit. So this is the market, understanding different ideas, different concepts. I'm not coming out and saying my strategy is the best, my strategy is this, just understanding that our goals, our personality, is what makes the difference. So I think Sabala here I think you started a discount, I think, tell us about your program and your discount so that those who want to, grab that offer can quickly grab that offer. It's 10 past 10. Really grateful for your patience. Really thankful for your patience and your time. I didn't expect it to stay this long, but I'm glad that a lot of us are really gaining so much value. So please, 1 minute, just tell us about your program.
All right, so my mentorship is structured to take you through the models that I use to trade, right? Some of the profitable models that I use to trade. And if you simply follow the exact principles I teach, you are going to achieve similar results, okay? Without having to study all 12 months of ICT price action and all that, okay? It's just specific models, what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And then the pricing for my mentorship is $100, okay? But I recently just opened up the space for a 20% discount. That's for some of the students who have been begging me that they want to come into the mentorship. So I opened up a 20% discount. That means if you are paying to join my mentorship, you are going to pay $80, right? Before I closed that offer again. So that's it.
Awesome. So if you're going to be paying for Sabala's mentorship, you're going to be paying how much?
$80.
$80. Okay. So for the sake of perspective series, are you throwing out any special offer for maybe the first 5, first 4, just
Oh yeah, no. All right,
Okay.
the first 5 should pay $70 then.
Okay, so please send him a DM as fast as possible. Send him a DM. I believe your plans may be flexible. So talk to him after now. His links, Telegram, his channel, everything will be posted in the perspective group. Someone said he's not in the group, he should be added. So maybe you post the perspective link. I don't know how he joined, but just post the link so that he can join in. And then Nick, quickly, you need swing trading, uh, this is the person you need to catch right here. So please tell us, what your program is like, if you have a discount running in at the moment. Your mic is still.
Yes, this whole thing just coincided with perspective coincided with my birth month. So I think Saturday I'll be celebrating my birthday. So
sorry, when?
I have something Saturday. Yes.
Nice. Fantastic.
So I already have something in line with that. So because of the perspective, maybe from tonight, if you're interested in enrolling for my program, when you enroll, you get inducted to know the technical analysis of every perspective, everything about my trading style, you understand? Then that's the technical analysis. Then I take you through a live class on trade management and trader management. Okay, I take you through a live class on that. Okay, so for the sake of the perspective and also, of course, the fact that in my birth month, I'll be doing a 50% discount. So for the face of it, it was $200 originally, so I'll be doing it for $100. All right, so $100.
Okay, so you're giving out a 50% discount, I guess. Yeah. So please take advantage of this. His birthday is on Saturday, so I guess it should be open from now till maybe Saturday, I guess. Yeah, so please DM him right away. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Thank you so much. You can see he's our PhD boss right here. So, yeah, spent a lot of time, sacrificed a lot of time being here. So, like, I understand what this time meant for him. We had to readjust the gate, until we were able to have him on ground. So please reach out to him. Nick is just doing his thing codedly and calmly, but I know what I'm saying. Check his Telegram group. The proofs are there. Check his Instagram. You see the proofs there. You see real accounts, real withdrawals, real profits. Check it out. You see it. And, thank you once again for your time. So please, for those who are here listening,